far out. Some awesome artwork we have in Hamilton. Thought I'd just dive into storming the castle, going into the Chiefs headquarters this year, or last year, sorry. Explain that one away a little bit. So if you haven't caught up on that, you'll have to go back. One of the tangents that I missed leading into my psychosis. So yeah, this video is an add-on from when I was starting to speak about storming the Chiefs headquarters, going into their headquarters and trying to deal with all the emotions that I had. You have to go back to that video if you want to catch up on this one. This was one of the tangents that my mind was going on prior to my psychosis. So I felt, yeah, I was in a whole mindset of wanting to deal with all the emotion that I had from rugby after more than a decade of dealing with perceived failure, never being good enough, or being told that you're never good enough. Nothing you're ever going to do is going to add up to being good enough for these people. You know, I just felt like I needed to reclaim my mana, reclaim myself, just get rid of anything that was making me feel anxious and making me feel like I was not enough. Just confronting the demons, if you will, confronting the demons that I had from my past and saying, fuck, I'm here, I'm still here. In spite of you, I'm still here, and I've survived. I survived and get fucked. It was a little bit like that. Yeah, if you want to go back to that video, it's where I'm wearing this t-shirt, but it's reverse colours, it's inside out. So I got up to the bit where I was driving to headquarters to the Chiefs. Park my truck up out the back, the boys go into the gym. The emotions are high, energy's pumping, heart's pumping. I need to go and confront somebody right now. Whoever's in there, I'm going to do it. Sort of the fantasy that I had in my head was, you know, the whole team would be in there. Or this public display of me just saying, fucking shut the fuck up and listen to me. I've ChatGPT'd some of the psychosis stuff. So pre the psychosis, it was, ChatGPT pretty much told me that the feelings that I had and were harboring towards that environment, I needed somebody to be accountable for the way that I felt about everything, and I needed to be seen, and I needed someone to step up, give me something. I needed others to view this so that I wasn't silenced or I wasn't pushed to the side and not listened to anymore, because it's a hard thing when you're never listened to and you're constantly stood on by people or by organizations. You're silenced and you can't be listened to. Finally, I wanted to speak out publicly. I wanted people to see how I felt. I wanted them to feel how I felt. I wanted them to fucking take it, bro, and just yeah, you know, it was like that. So getting back into the story, boom, you know, adrenaline's high, heart rate's pretty high. Parking up at headquarters, I'm in full control. It's not like I'm having a psychosis or anything. I'm just doing what the healthy and normal thing is to do when you've been, you know, pegged down again and again and again. You lost your identity, you lost your life, you know, you've had to start over and over and over again. You're not realising this at the time, but you know, this is all in hindsight. So you don't know you're going through these things at the time. It's hard for you to know. You just know you have a feeling about it. There's an old saying, you may never remember anyone's words, but you damn well will remember how they make you feel. It's the feeling, it's the mamai that you carry. Anyway, going back to it. So, parked up, headquarters, bang, into the door of the Chiefs. I'm walking in and I'm wanting to look around the whole environment. I walk into the changing sheds. I'm looking around at all, you know, where I used to be training and all the boys that I used to be involved with there. And I actually, when I was in the Chiefs, I actually sat by Sam Kane and Brodie Retallick. Fuck, they were good cunts, eh? Just like they were back in the day, you know. They made me feel welcome. They spoke to me, and you know, I was feeling out of place because I came in for the quarterfinals. Had a couple injuries, and I think Triple T might have been down too. Brad Weber, Triple T were down, and those fellas were goaters. They straight away, you know, oh hey, how are you? And I was sitting right in between both of them, but they're my age, so it was pretty cool just to reconnect with them again. Anyway, side tangent, going back. So I'm walking around the changing rooms and I'm looking, got a few upgrades and all that, and I'm walking in, the first thing I see just before I go into the changing rooms is Sean Wainui's face. And I just think, fuck, the whole reason I've started all these things is literally because of you, bro, and that's why I'm here. And I look at it and I go, fuck. And I, a lot of my psychosis themes, Sean was featuring in a lot of them. And I was thinking on the psychosis, if Sean had to go to that depth, I'm going there now. Fuck, man, we need to do something to help these boys, because, we're both pretty strong people, pretty strong-willed, and, when you're dealing with this kind of shit, we're like guinea pigs, because there's never been an era of rugby where you're getting picked right out of school and you're just thrust into these environments without developing yourself professionally, without mental development, growing up, going out into the world, and you're thrust in and you just don't learn these things, and you're just learning rugby things, and the more you get battered down, fuck, bro, the harder you chase it, the more you chase it, the more you think, fuck, I didn't make All Black Sevens for no reason. How the fuck did I get to All Black Sevens if I can't even get into to a provincial side? Like, what's going on? Surely me getting into those teams, I can't get an All Black Sevens on accident. I can't get the best beep test in history that Gordon Titchens has seen on accident. Fuck, surely, and those are the things that would keep me training, keep me going. And I think, nothing happens on accident, and you've got what it takes, buds, and you can do it. But you go to these depths, but it's it doesn't actually matter how good you are. I've realised it doesn't matter how good you are. It only matters how good they think you are. That's all that matters, really. And then at the end of the day, the coaches don't really have the say anyway. It's all politics. A lot of it's politics, nepotism. Sometimes it works in your favour. The coaches and the people up the top, they love you. Sometimes they don't love you. And that doesn't work in your favour. That's like anything. Sometimes you can be the best, but, and it's weird because the playing group can actually see who the best players are. The playing group can actually see more than the coaches can, or who's the best players for the team. And these coaches have got to sit down and look at themselves and realize you've got to pick the best on that. You got to pick the best that's available. You got to pick the best people, and that's the only way to stop some of the bullshit. Even though at the end of the day there's no way around it, the professional stuff you're gonna get fucking chopped down and let down somehow. I just hope you don't do what I did and keep trying to go there, keep training hard and all that, secret trainings, and trying to be humble and stay humble and never show anyone what you're doing. Fuck, you got to showcase yourself, you got to put it out there, show people you're training hard, because if you don't say anything, if you don't make any noise, fuck, no one's listening, bro. Anyway, fuck, so many tangents. Back to it. So I'm walking around the changing rooms. I'm just, heartbeat is kind of getting there. It's calmed down from when I first went in. So I'm just walking around the changing rooms, walking around the gym, and I walk upstairs to the offices and think, fuck, I'm just going to walk around in the offices. I don't care. And when I talk about the fantasy that I wanted the whole team to be there. I wanted the coaches to be there, to be accountable. I wanted all the players to see my dominance and see me say, shut up and listen to me, come with me now. I don't care if you're having a meeting, this, that and the other. Come and talk to me right now, please. I need somebody to talk to me. I need to hear something. And as I walked in there, the environment's not the same. Coaches are different now. The coaches are different people. Staff are different. Everyone's different. There's some of the same main ones there, but everyone's changed. And I walk in there, there's nobody there. And I'm like, oh shit. Okay, I know what I got to do. I got to go to the coach's office, the head coach's office right now. Fuck, okay, boom. Walk in there, and one person there, and it's a new coach, the new coach of the Chiefs. And I'm like, oh shit. And I'm kind of breathing by this point. I'm kind of I'm kind of like breathing a little bit like that, like fuck. And I tell the coach, you know, where's this coach? I need to talk to him. And he sort of calms me down. He said, oh, he's not in today. He doesn't come in on this day. He has different days. He's at home at the moment. And I just like, oh. He said, what do you want from him? I said, I just want to talk to him. He wasn't there. And then the bro, he sits me down. I've had him as a coach before. Sits me down and he just talks to me as a person, you know, makes me feel comfortable, gets me a coffee, and he calls up the other coach. And I heard him on the phone. I was sort of in a bit of a state, like, and he rings the coach up. He goes, hey, how are you, mate? Yeah, one of your minions are here. And I'm just cracked up to myself, oh fucking hell, I must look like a bit of an idiot coming in here. But yeah, I sit there and I sort of calm down a bit and we talk together, talk about things, and then yeah, I just leave there and I talked to one of the bros that were there before, one of the PD development guys, and he's a good fella, really good person. You know, he said once a chief, always a chief and all that. Not really, it's not really like that. It's when you're a chief, you're a chief. When you're not, you just fuck off. But yeah, you can't go back there ever again. You can't say you're part of it. You're not affiliated whatsoever. It's just you're just cut. You're gone. It's professional. It's not like it's your club team and you can always go and be a part of it. Nah, you can't. Sits down with me and tells me about all the things they're doing there now, and you know, I'm sitting there going, oh, it doesn't really make a difference, all this stuff. All you're doing is deluding them even more, you know, you're deluding them even more about what they think they're here for. They don't need to hear this stuff, they need to hear other things, they need to hear the real story. But anyway, I'm going on a lot of tangents today. I do all that. I talked to the bro for a couple of hours actually about everything that I went through. And yeah, I talked to a few other people, a few staff members, and then I leave there and I think, you know, what was all that about? And I try to get some understanding on it. That's why I ChatGPT'd it. But yeah, I realized one thing, that I was actually terrified of that coach's office and me walking in there and just getting that instant heartbeat. Like, I never actually confronted that, and I got the chance to confront it and put my feelings out there. Fuck, it felt good, eh? When I walked away from there, I was like, fuck, wow, it felt like a huge release, and I just let everything go, and I was like, oh man, I don't have to hold that anymore. I don't have to be angry at anybody or feel these emotions that I feel. Yeah, you know, I can hold my head high and say that I gave it my all, and I confronted people when I felt wronged, or I felt like I was never acknowledged.